Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You guys don't know, she's starting to bloom. See that, right? Isn't that amazing, huh? Such beautiful plants. Look at this bad boy. I gotta prune him a little bit. Might do that today. Might do that today. I might just do that today. But check that out. Tell me that ain't beautiful, huh? No lights, no fans, just growing them outside naturally. Of course, keeping some. Let me tell you the secret. That's very important is the soil that you use. Okay, this is very, very good soil. It's not packed, it's not loose. It's a mixture of different things in there, a lot of nutrients, a lot of composting. Okay, that's how it is. I got a wild blackberry plant growing right over here. I mean, we're coming into fall now, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, I made this trellis right here for this you know, I got this blackberry. This is gonna be all for the blackberries over here. Like literally all that's gonna be for blackberries, because I had other things planted there, but the blackberries kind of took over it. And you know, if you guys see, look at that beauty right there, towering high, 15 feet, and literally just gave me a bloom. This ain't gonna be a gardening video, okay? So check this out. All right, this is what I want to talk about on this video. What I want to talk about is basically some experiences that you have during meditation. Now, I'll tell you this, during my journey here in this process of, you know, the journey that I'm going on, I don't know if we want to call it spirituality, we want to call it awakening, whatever you want to call it. Let me open the windows here. But I've been, you know, I remember that I was experiencing this from a long time ago, and you know, I couldn't find any videos on this. But you know what's crazy is being a little more evolved and having an understanding of certain things, I'm able to pretty much talk about it as an experience rather than, you know, having it as a question. Okay, now when I meditate, do you notice how when you go to sleep, okay, when you go to sleep, you go through sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis basically means that you know, your body gets paralyzed while you sleep, so that when you dream, you don't act out your dreams and hurt yourself. Okay, now there's moments where you would come online and, you know, your body's not awake yet, and then what happens is that you actually feel that you know, sleep paralysis where you can't move. But the easiest way to come, see, a lot of people, see, this is proof that resistance makes stronger, because a lot of people, when they feel that, they freak out and they try to move, they do the best they can to move, but that only prolongs the process, when in reality all you need to do is relax and know that you're in that process and that you're about to come out of it, and you come out of it a lot quicker, which basically means you just relax and control your breathing, and you come out of that state a lot faster. Now when you meditate, okay, and this is how you can consciously come out of body. Now I'm going to tell you something. Every time I've came out of body, it has been by accident, because the moment that I try to always really intend to do it, it kind of never happens. And I noticed that it's kind of you having an expectation to some extent. I know there's methods and ways to do things. I haven't perfected it yet, so you know, I know how the process works. It just hasn't worked out for me that way. But an interesting thing that happens is why, see, you could become spiritually skilled rather than actually changing as a person, let's say, or you know, because we're all acting. See, a lot of the times what I'm seeing is a lot of spiritual people, they get into this, you know, spirituality movement, and it's basically a movement, moving your mentality toward that. But you know, let's say for example, somebody becomes skilled in being able to, you know, communicate with the spirit realm, or being able to astral travel and all that. See, the way they look at it is they come out, and I've seen this where they come out and they're looking at everybody else like they're better than everybody else because they have this skill, okay? But this is coming through ego, okay? And I can't stress enough, and this is why I keep stressing the fact of authenticity. And shout out to Skyhopper, who made this video earlier this morning. It happened to be one of the best videos I've seen. So if you guys haven't checked out that video, beautiful video. You know, he's walking with the dog, and basically you You know, it's I think he titled it "Lovely Surprise" or something like that, or "Little Surprise, Big Surprise." I don't remember what he titled it. It's his last video, so go check that out. He spoke about authenticity. Now, see, a lot of people you could act spiritual, okay, but are you really being who you are? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we put a persona, and I understand this is what we need to do here. You can't completely, you know, let's say, because nobody's really themselves. The way, let's say, when you are by yourself, you're not really fully yourself when you're out interacting with other people. You see, we start to ask people even the questions that you may ask somebody. You'd be like, oh, what do you do for work and stuff like that. Those are all ego questions, okay? You know, it basically just having a connection with somebody is just, you notice how when we use the words, you know, stay in tune or tune in, right? Or we say, you know, stay in touch. When we stay in touch, we're literally, this is the physical way of staying in touch. Stay in touch. Stay tuned. You notice how we say to somebody, you know, oh, that person is not sound. You know, that means that they're crazy. They're not in tune. But then when you're sound, you're emitting a frequency. So that's sound. That is a sound. Everything pretty much is sound. You know. Like even the word insane, you're insane. But then when somebody's sane, they technically are okay. Insane, you're in your world. This is why sometimes when you see somebody not interacting with other people, they say, oh, he's in his own world. But we call that insane. And insane, we categorize that as a word being crazy. When in reality, a person who's sane is because they are able to interact and mingle with everybody in this illusionary state. Okay? And that's being sane. Now, when we say that person is not sound, okay, that means because they're not emitting the frequency and vibration to be of this realm. They're just being sound, you know, and they're just in their world, okay? I hope I'm making sense there. Now, do you notice how we talk about, let's say when we say, you know, stay in touch, or let's touch base on this, okay? Basically, all that is just basically saying we're talking about it in a physical way. In a physical way. Now, here's the experience that I want to talk about when it comes down to meditation, because the meditating part, you know, like I said, you could become a good meditator, but see, I like to literally experiment with meditation, because even that is an experience in and of itself, and the experience are experiments. Experiments are experiences. What I'm gonna do is basically, you know, the fact that when you go into a sleep paralysis, okay, your consciousness is not online, but when you're in a deep meditation, right, your consciousness is still online, so you can still observe what is going on. So you notice how these personal experiences that I've had, I've tried to look these up and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm gonna put a video on this. But you'll be meditating, and you know how you'll have like the point of meditating, of course, you want to clear your mind. You want to think of nothing. You want to try to let the thoughts play out and stuff like that. But sometimes when they play out, you get lost in the thought for a moment, and then, for example, you'll let's say something's coming towards you, and in that thought, you're thinking about, you know, putting your hand out to protect your face or something like that. I'm just giving you an example. You physically move your hand. I had this violent jerk, and it happens to me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be laying there, all right, and I'm not intentionally wanting to move my hand, okay? And because of this, I start to question, why the hell does this happen? So I'm laying there, I'm in deep meditation. You know, you get the monkey mind, the thoughts come in, and then in a thought I get lost in, all right? Let's say something's coming at my face. Of course, your reaction is to put your hand out, right? But I consciously know that ain't really happening, but my body made that movement by itself. I did not move my arm. I straight up went like that, put my hand out, and it happened like out by itself. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is proof that you are not your body, and that when you see, this is the thing, your body doesn't know the difference between a real and a fake experience. So it automatically, you know, went out to try to defend itself. But And now I observed it, I'm like, wait a second, I did not move my arm. Okay? And this is very, very fascinating to me, because the thing is that here's what I did as an experiment now. I let it chill out. I went back into the meditation. I tried to clear my mind. But what I did was I said, okay, that was a thought that I wasn't trying to think about, but I got lost in that thought, right? Because the point of this is an exercise. Like, you literally you observe the thoughts. You don't get lost in the thoughts, because it's the same thing like when you watch a movie or a TV show, you think you get into it. You get into it. You know what I mean? And watch my video, Television Televises Your Vision. I actually explained it very thoroughly there. But check this out. So what I did was I purposely thought of myself getting up without getting up. I did not want to get up. I just wanted to think of myself getting up. And I noticed that I was in a pretty good brainwave state. Fascinating thing happened. So as I did that, right, I thought of myself getting up, but I did not physically get up. And some crazy thing happened is that the moment I thought of it, I felt something go, like it was just like a pulsation. So think of it like this. You have a still water, right? The water is very, very still, and you throw a rock in the water and then you see those ripples, right? It felt like I was molded to my environment. And the fact that I thought of myself moving, right? I did not physically move, but the fact that I thought of myself moving, something happened where it disturbed that stillness, and it went vroom. And after that, it felt like ripples. Like the moment I moved, everything was very still, and then I felt the ripples coming out. Man, I was like, yo, it was a crazy experience. I was like, and then I tried to do it again, and it happened the same way. But I can't just do it one after the other. Like, it would have to be where I would do it, and then I would have to, like, because I got excited when I thought of it. So you got to relax. You got to let your brain waves, you know, get into that, you know, real relaxed state. And, you know, just think of yourself like you're getting up, but you're not really getting up, you know? And it's crazy because you will, like, it's like you will try to get up. And I don't know if this is the way to actually start even astral projecting. Again, I'm going to keep experimenting with this. But I wanted to share this video in case somebody ever had that experience. But it's funny along how you know, you could have these thoughts going in your head, and your body, literally, you observed your body acting it out because you're not in sleep paralysis, because your body is not completely asleep. You're just in a much more calm brainwave state, but your body's not asleep. See, for you to come out of body, your body has to be asleep, but then your body will trick you. Your body's going to test you. Here's the crazy thing. This is why I say everything's fucking like programmed. When you're intentionally trying to like come out of body, and it happens to me all the time, before you feel like everything's numb, like you don't even feel your body anymore. But then the dumbest shit happens. Your nose starts itching, your ear will start itching, and I'm talking about this is an uncontrollable itch. But the moment that you move to scratch your nose or whatever the hell it was, your body knows that you're not ready and you're not asleep yet, so it won't put you through that sleep paralysis. Because the moment you go through a sleep paralysis is when you're literally ready to come out of body. But me, for example, you can hold on to that and you know, control yourself from getting and giving into that itch. But the whole shit is that you now you'll try, like, let's say for like, it's about holding your consciousness. Now you can't fall asleep. That's why I said you fall asleep. Like, don't fall asleep, because if you fall asleep, you lose your consciousness, and then you're basically gonna go into a dream realm, and you won't be aware of it. You know what I mean? So the whole thing is to hold on to yourself and not lose that consciousness. And this is going to require that energy that I'm talking about, which we feed into it all day. But see, there's a physical energy, but then there's a spiritual energy. Okay? And I've noticed that because, see, when your body's physically drained, but you're full of spiritual energy, your body can go to sleep, but you can literally hold on to your consciousness a lot easier. But when you're physically and spiritually drained, they're both going at the same time. So, you know, that's all I pretty much have. I'm not going to make this video too long, but, you know, like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment underneath, and we'll talk soon.